or afternoon or hello. So we are continuing on with, again, these absolute value inequalities. So again, when you see a less than, think add, and when you see a greater than, think or. Back on those compound inequalities we did for many days last time. Okay, so just a reminder, how did you do this? It was x is less than or equal to 4, and that symbol means it's an and. X is greater than or equal to -4. And the easiest thing to realize is a -4 goes there, a +4 goes there. When it's an and, you're going to have a between one. But just a reminder that you have to rewrite it as a between statement. Okay? Okay. Now for the next one, it's x is greater than 1. Greater than is or. X is less than -1. So again, for an or statement, you're going opposite directions for the most part. Okay, you did this yesterday. And the reason I put this one here, is there a time when you're ever going to have an absolute value that is less than or equal to a negative? No. So that would be a no solution, because an absolute value cannot be smaller than a negative, because it can't be negative at all. Okay, let's do some problems. Just a reminder, how do you do these? You do the same as yesterday. X minus 1 is greater than or equal to 5. It's a greater than, or x minus 1 is less than or equal to now the -5. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So it's x is greater than or equal to 6. Or, and remember the ors you don't need to rewrite as a tweener. Those are only the ands. X is less than or equal to -4. So again, we have a -4. We have a +6. Just separate them a little bit. I'll take it. And we'll start with the 6 filled in circle where the arrow goes that way. -4 filled in circle where the arrow goes that way. And that's what an or has looked like. Next one. Now, there's a reason I'm putting this one on. Pay attention. So 4 minus 3k is less than or equal to 11. It's an and, because it's a less than. 4 minus 3k is greater than or equal to -11. Okay, so I'm going to minus 4. Okay, so I get careful. -3k is less than or equal to 7, right? Okay, and then when I divide by -3, okay, I must flip the sign. And if I want, again, remember I taught you how to put it in your calculator. That's just -2.3 repeating. Okay, that's fine. Decimals are our friends. Okay, did you flip the sign though? -4, and you got -3k is greater than or equal to -15. Divide by a -3. Flip the sign, because we're dividing by a negative, and you get a 5. Okay, so again, we're just going to separate them. -2.3 repeating, and 5 is here. Easy as that, okay? Now it's an and, so -2.3 filled in, and the arrow saying to the right. 5 is filled in. Its corresponding arrow is saying to the left, which means it's a tweener that you also now need to rewrite as k. They're both filled in. The smaller number goes with the smaller number. The bigger number corresponds with the bigger number, meaning they go right there. Okay? Okay. But the reason why I showed you that one, don't forget to flip the signs when you're dividing by a negative still. Okay, this next one, the first thing you need to do, leave the absolute value, add 4. Remember, you can't split it until you have only the absolute value. So now we have 3 plus r, absolute value is less than 4. Now we split it. 3 plus r is less than 4. A less than is an and. 3 plus r is greater than the negative 4. Okay. Minus 3. And you get r is less than 1. And minus 3 again. R is greater than negative 7. Okay. So I have a negative 7 and a 1. Your worksheet today will have numbers on the number line. Be careful, sometimes though they go by 2s. I forgot to tell you that. Okay, so start with r is less than 1. 1 going less. R is greater than negative 7. Negative 7 going right. It's still a tweener. So again, our r is in the middle. Hollow circles. The negative 7 comes from there. The positive 1 comes from there. That's only for ands, only for ands. Okay, here we go. If you want to go through this one, stay on. If not, fast forward to the next one. Don't stop the video because there's something I want to show you at the end. So we have 4x minus 7, absolute value, 9. That's an or. So we have 4x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 9. 4x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 9. And now you just start solving. Okay. So we have 4x is greater than or equal to 16. Dividing by a positive 4 leaves it as x is greater than or equal to 4 with the word or by it. Now we do the same thing. Add 7. 4x is less than or equal to negative 2. I know it's a smaller number, but you got your calculator. X is less than or equal to negative 1/2 or 0.5 or however. Okay, so now we have negative 1/2 here and a positive 4 here. Just do it like that if you want to. Okay, now x is greater than or equal to 4, filled in, greater, and less than or equal to, there you go. Okay, so those are your or statements. Remember, usually work like that. Just a reminder, first thing, when I have a negative sitting here on the other side of the equation from the variable, I want you to think, if it's a less than symbol, if it's this or that version, that should tell you negatives can't be absolute values. Absolute values can't be negative. If it was going the other way, could work, but it's not. It's going this way. So since an absolute value cannot be less than a negative, your answer from the get-go is no solution. If you want, you can solve it all down like we did yesterday. It'll be an and, but there won't be any overlapping. When it's an and that isn't overlapping at all, it's no solution. There's my hint. And this is number 13 from the worksheet. Just going through it quick, this is why I wanted you to stay. So first thing, I want you to add 4. And again, you might be saying, but Mrs. Strevler, look at that negative. It's not only the absolute value first. So first we have to get it down to that point. Now this is a negative, and now the absolute value. Okay, now remember, this means it's a negative 1. Okay, what does that mean? That means divide both sides by -1. Remember, we can't distribute that. And we get absolute value of 8n minus 10. Because I divided by a negative, I flip the sign, and I get a 50. Now I can split it up. 8n minus 10 is greater than or equal to 50. Greater than is an or. 8n minus 10 is less than or equal to negative 50. Okay, because we flipped that sign, now it will actually work and you can finish this problem. Okay. Okay. If you have questions, let me know. You've got another worksheet. It's a little lengthy. If you want, only do the evens. If you want to only do the evens, that definitely works. And maybe finish that number 13 if you want. Okay. Have a great day.